Hello, everyone. Welcome to Second Thought Africa Reimagine. We're reimagining Africa, especially Liberia. Today will be what's on your mind, and we're going to be talking about what's on your mind. I would tell you what's on my mind. I have a lot on my mind, both locally, which would be here in the United States, and Liberia, my birth nation. Um, so we're going to be talking about that. But in the meanwhile, again, welcome to Second Thought. Please share the video or share the show and follow us on Second Thought on our page. As you all know, on our Your Voice Matter, we have 164 followers that were hiked and or were taken down. I think I had about maybe close to 20,000 on the Second Thought that were also taken down and which were monetized. Um, so we're starting all over. It's been since December, and I think we can get up to 5,000 in no time. So if you will follow us on Second Thought, I will post the link. I want to say thank you for tuning in tonight. Let's have this conversation and be open-minded about it. Okay. That said, I'm going to play this video really quickly, and then we're going to get started. Okay, this is Quincy B. Life No Balance, especially in Liberia. So let me play this so we can get started. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Say, I love, it.
And I have no copyright to this song.
Day and break, everybody on the hustle. Some people know like peace, they want some trouble. Crime rates on the increase. The government can protect the people. Hold up, no justice for the poor. Yeah, love the way we're living. We treating one another unfair. Love the way we're living. We treating one another unfair. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Yeah. We have everything in abundance, but we die and rot and bleed. We pray, asking the Lord for another Moses, cause all we have is pharaohs. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. That music, that young man has been dead for more than 5 years, in fact, more than 6 years. But every word out of his mouth was spoken in the past and it's relevant today. That's the fact. You know, we can pray. The only thing that's going to happen to us with our prayers, our needs are going to turn different. Maybe our forehead, okay, and we're going to get tired bending down. When we pray, that prayers will follow action. Faith without action or faith without work is dead. You can't do what you continue to do over and over and anticipate that things are going to change. That is not going to work. Now, when you write, and I'm not even going to pay attention to some of the noisemaker, because if you travel out of Liberia, you live in America, you live in Europe, where you watch your government officials, the majority of you people, hey, Dag, majority of the people that go into government go there for service, okay? If you an engineer in America that want to get rich, you don't go into government, especially overnight. You don't go into government. You job hot. You go into the private sector, or you become an entrepreneur. You become an innovator. You create something, all right, or create your own business. That's how you do it. But when you go into, you will notice anyone who work in the United States or even in Europe, you work for government. Government is about serving the people. That's not where you go to get rich. In fact, majority of our lawmakers or our government officials, majority will be people who have gone out, served, created something. Most of them are multi-millionaires that see something that is not right with their country, because they understand that the structure of the government, the Bible that makes the government, which is the law of the land, those who are the deciding factors are those at the table. They go to make impact. They go to make a difference. For instance, there's a lady called Beth McBeth, whose son okay, Beth McBird had her children, her son, who went for spring break to Florida. She was her own business owner, working private sector. And when the children were on spring break in Florida, apparently they pulled up to a gas station. They were playing loud music. A man in the gas station walked up to the kids and opened fire on them. The mother fight for justice got her into politics because she figured to do gun control, she needed a voice at the table, somebody who have walked that shoe. Her child was killed. Beth ran and won. She's an advocate, okay, a lawmaker whose sole purpose is gun control. I mean, she goes into other committees, other standing committees, other ad hoc committees, but she went with the intention of gun control. She can venture out, but that is her bullseye. And other mothers who are victims the same way had joined her. All right. You saw me on Tuesday. Donna McLeod, District 105, mechanical engineer who has her own business, ran because here you go into government for service. We call her our voice at the table. A woman with an accent like mine, like an islander, St. Croix, St. Vincent, Jamaica, okay? You name all of the island. She represented us and continue to represent us. Okay, and she's out there. Every city council meeting, she is there. And you know how much she was getting paid to be a representative? Less than 30,000. 30,000. It was about service. Now let's look at holistically where Liberia stands in this moment in time. All right. And I will show you a few videos. When I keep talking to Liberian people, the nation that we know that have changed, it took one person. And it took people who believe in the country that they wanted. South Korea, about 60 years ago, South Korea was a dungeon, have gone to civil war. There was nothing left. All right. I'm going to play that short video because I don't want them to mute my show. Okay. And I will post the video on my page. You can read the whole biography if you want to understand, or you can read a history book on South Korea. Then you can move from South Korea, you can go to Vietnam. When you come from Vietnam, you can go to Singapore. Singapore will be the cream de la cream of coming from a third world to a first world. First, you have to establish what you don't want. All right. You have to have a plan. You cannot build and change a nation based on begging and then stealing and lying and sinking and hypocrisy and sycophancy and immorality. You cannot build a nation on that. It would never hold. By crediting, it's just like you make $60,000. You got a $2,500 mortgage. You got insurance. You want a 500 series Mercedes Benz. You want to have 3, 4, 5 girlfriend and boyfriend, however way you want to put it, and take care of all of them. Your status will never change because you will be guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and play this video and I will leave. Just give me 1 second. I'm about to pull this.
Under the midst of darkness in 1961, 3,000 Korean soldiers military coup. The UN.
So here it is. South Korea, about 60 years ago, GDP per capita was $79, meaning they were living in abject poverty. $79 means everything being equal, all things being equal. That's where each person in South Korea were getting annually. That's GDP per capita. Okay? Go look at the GDP per capita now. All right? They were willing to make the sacrifice, to roll up their sleeves, to make every sacrifice to build a nation. So I'm going to go back here. Tell your mom hi. Okay? So I'm going to move this here so I can tell you, and I'm going to bring you a little piece. So let's go back. We just talked about South Korea, all right? From having $79, okay, to almost 40K. The last I said were like around 30 some more $1,000 GDP per capita. All right. Let's go to Rwanda. The first thing that Rwanda did was security education. That was the first and foremost thing. Any country that wants to grow, that wants to develop, the human capital must be prioritized. The human capital must be the first on the list. The human capital development must be the goal. You are not doing so. All right? And I'm coming with this. I'm going to get on plenty of you nerve tonight. The saddest thing is most Liberian professionals that work for government, the only place that they're competitive is in Liberia. You put them any other place, they will run to Liberia. Okay? Any other place, they will run to Liberia. They bring nothing to the table. They come, they steal, they loot, they sleep with everybody they can see to sleep with. I'm speaking in terms of majority, not the few good men. All right? We go back. Where they knock us. When Madame Sali took over, that was the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. The way he caught sleeping with little girl, having threesome. The very Liberian people, 2017, they were talking. You have the scholarship brats who think they're supposed to defend. Okay. You have the government brats who mother, father, everybody else, wherever the became came from government. All right. From stealing, I'm talking. And I don't give a fig where anybody else thinks. Okay. Those are the hard truth that we have to deal with. And that we all need to look within ourselves to see how we can change our nation. To bring all of us pride. Okay. To give all of us a fighting chance. To give every child. No child in Liberia is dull. No child in Liberia is beneath anybody. We have not been given the opportunity to be the very best that we can be, even when not the fastest, but be able to be given the opportunity, given the resources to be able to thrive. Here, Kotuma, that's our problem. You know, as an educator, we have kids that we put them in category because each child is different and each child learns differently. So we have the responsibility, examine those children, monitor them, collect data on them, and put them in the right categories that need to be, and help them to maximize their God-given potential. And even if we need to nurture, okay, and harness, it is our duty as educators to do so. In Liberia, the first thing we say that I look at all the door man there. Why would I be door? When since I left from home today, I have not eaten. When some of your children have had breakfast, I had lunch, got money in their pocket. When that child is worried about what time they will eat before they go to sleep. When they're going to stay up all night because mosquito is biting them, and the place is hot out of their laying in the zinc shop, okay? That's majority of Liberia. 3.5 million. How in heaven, okay, that you're sit and justify, and that's when I talk to my own little sister, you say that you pay Liberian people in government more money so they can't steal. We have paid them 20 grand per month, 15 grand per month, 18 grand per month, get them $10,000 and $30,000 every 3 months, and they still stole. And they still mortgage the country Where is the justification? Where is the justification in, okay, paying people in a country with 600, less than 600 million, because the rest of the money, really, I would say 300 million, okay? Because America gave you 100 plus million. The rest of the world, you beg them for money and they gave you money just to divide among yourselves. The last I checked, Yumli Kanga went to Bikina, Grand Bassel, took $10,000, gave it to her father of the Liberian people money. When it came back, she defended it. What did she say? There's no law on the book. Look, there's a quote that says, a good person, a moral person, an ethical person does not need law to tell them what's wrong and what's right. And an immoral person, an unethical person will find any way around the laws to make sure they do what they want to do. And the pastor supposed to be a pastor. Mr. Kanga is supposed to be a pastor. He took the $10,000 to ditch the money they returned. Yumli got her sister employed on the board of director at ArcelorMittal, while people who they're digging iron ore from the country, who are drinking dirty water, and her sister is here in America, have no jobs, can't feed their children. I'm gonna play Clarence Jackson. Okay, is it Clarence Jackson or Julia Child? Call this morning where parents were calling, they can't register their children. Okay, parents are calling in, begging the school to accept their children. Okay, the school to accept their children, and they will pay later. So then, how will the school pay their teachers? All right, how then will the school pay their teachers? You tell us. So the teacher then said, the school will beg the teachers to go teach free, you know, and I gather this. Nima County alone got 15,000 teachers that are now on salary. They're volunteering. They can't even give them stipend. How in the world, the most precious jewel of your nation, you leave them to chance in shaping them? You leave them to chance in nurturing them. You leave them to chance in protecting them. How do you do that? And you anticipate that you're going to change. Then I come back. The very Yumli Kanga brother is assistant minister at education. Why you killed Tolbert then? Liberian people, what were the essence of killing Tolbert? You all say you all killed him for nepotism, rampant corruption, failure to answer to the need of the masses in a timely manner. So why did you all kill him? To come and do worse than he did. Then the other guy, Kuhn, Representative Kuhn, all right, he got his brother employed at Foreign Affairs. Then Papa Bwaka got all his old people that were in his corrupt office, the Pidea Sandy, the Cassidy, the Koya, you name them. Steve, all of them brought them back. Hey, Lofa, all of them, he brought them back. The very group, I sat here and told you all the story where I would not support Papa Bwaka. When, after the Ebola, my brother was doing a research with a Gates Foundation. The first money that was sent, 1.5 million. Those people took that money. They said they were not giving it. Dr. Dolo have to go to the Perspective and do a press release and threaten them and told them if they didn't give the money, you are going to call the Gates Foundation back. Hey, brother, call the Gates Foundation back. Let them take the money because the money went through the papier office. Pidea Cindy told my brother they would never speak until they go under the ground. And that's exactly what happened. No, that's exactly what happened. So we, you know, I hear Yeka say, and people say they don't want to. I hear people say Yeka that crazy man. Yeka that crazy man, but he was running campaign for you. He was not crazy. When you were talking to Weah, he was not crazy. Now you put stigma on him to believe. If anybody rational in Liberia, if you ask me at this point, and are consistent, Yeke would be that person. But Yeke too, he knew those people. And I also understand he was in a what do you call it, a rock in a hard place because of the CDC attitude. He didn't know where he was going to stand. And the way Liberian people were carrying on. So today I'm coming home. Then I see on Ablige that says Senate Pro Tem had not declared her asset yet. Imagine. Imagine. She has not declared her asset yet. How do you people intend to change this country? Where the stuff, where they're telling us, what they say, this is a rescue. What did you rescue? Guys, let me come back again. Go back and study and go back. Everything I said to you, go investigate it. Go to Brazil. Fourth grader, okay? Nola, who was the president when in fact they lie on him, throw him in jail, came back, became president again. Work his way in a factory to become a CEO. When he took over, he wanted to change Brazil. He turned in office in Brazil. It changed Brazil, in fact, until Brazil won the war, what do you call it, the Olympics. The first thing he did was he put in place for mass education. He told parents who were poor and had their children selling in the street, if you put your children in school, we will pay you for letting your children go to school. They put the money back in the economy because parents can afford to send their children to school, and the parents are getting money for their children going to school. The parents are able to do business. The parents are able to buy food. The money circle in the economy, and the economy expand. No. Liberian people own the divide among themselves. I want somebody to justify to me in a country that you begged to even get water in your house. How then do you pay people equal to the commission of the United States government that has over $6 trillion budget? And I hear people going, you're jealous, 1%. I am 1%. Proud 1%. Proud because I have integrity. Proud because everything that I am, I earn. Proud because even working for the states in Georgia, okay, I do it with dignity, ethics, and I put myself into my work. All right? How do you justify that? Look, a little girl was coming to the States. Apparently, she was sick. She got sick at the airport. No ambulance. They put her in a car on her way to the hospital. She died. No ambulance. No medics. No first aid at a major airport. And you guys are just fine with that. I see some of you running up and down. 4 months ago, we were told some company were coming in from South Africa, from somewhere, that were bringing, I think they said $5 billion project. That one became, like Liberian people say, VLAP. We were here. After the election, Papa Bouaka came to America. We saw him Washington studying table. They said Washington coming invest. That one came a pass. We were still here. The Papa came by again. They said he went to Arizona to meet with people. And that one came and gone. We were here just before the Papa went to some African country. From there, he went to some Asian country. And people were coming to invest. That won't go and pass. One thing, though, Liberian people that you should understand in business process, okay? Most ethical, okay, multinational organization have resources. They have an arm reach alone reach because they have the resources to gather data on your nation, to understand how your nation function. They just don't study your material wealth that they need. All right. They study your behavior, your leadership behavior, what makes them tick, their ethical standard or belief, if they're patriotic, if they're moral people, if they're immoral people. I will tell you for this for free. If you understood the Japanese culture, business process, and you are going to Japan, you know when you go to the table, if you have a presentation, you do not share the present. Like in America, if you carry and you're doing a presentation, you give everybody a copy. You don't get to do that in Japan. Okay? And if you are dealing with a Japanese company in Japan, you will know the head of the organization or the company. All right? You will know the head of the company. You will take your portfolio, give it to the head of the company. That head will decide who or whom that needs to go to. Okay? Who that needs to go to. So we understand cultural environment. We study extensively cultural environment. So before an organization or especially a multinational company comes to your country, they have to understand that they're putting the money on the line. They're not putting it there because you're fine, not because you're young, not because you're old, not because you're overly populated or you're hungry. They are sending the people there for the bottom line. The bottom line is for the return on the investment. All right. The political environment determines everything else that follow that. All right. If a company will take the risk and you are considered a high risk area, all right, they will be gouging. You have to have something, something enormous that they are coming to get, and they're coming get it and get out, and then they're going to do minimum investment. All right, like ArcelorMittal, did they build road? No. Did they fix the train track? Did they run another rail? No. Did they build an airport? No. They use what you have. They damage your road because you're considered desperate and a high risk. Okay. Now, the coolest thing with me is, and hopefully people understand this, but when you are ignorant and you are antiquated and you are foolish and you are stupid, okay, you show up and make stupid remarks. In 2020, we use social media to run a campaign for the most powerful office in the world, the United States presidency. We're doing it now. In 2020 through 2022, we educated American children, the future leader of this country, via social media, Zoom, WebEx, Teams. But when some of you are so dumb, where you're sitting now, so antiquated, you show up talking trash because you have a trash mind, because poo-poo in your brain. Now, let me continue. As I was saying, I will stop and I will say what I want to say, and I say it to you. Okay, so Rwanda is now called the tech giant of Africa. 34 years ago, they seem as us Liberian. In less than 90 days, they killed almost 1 million people. They burned down their country. Paul Kagame Kim, does he have good human rights record? Maybe not. Maybe not. But guess what? I would say his evil is less than his good. I mean, it's yes. Liberians are living by the droves, sending their children to Rwanda to go to school. We got a few kids there going to school. We have Sleeky. We got Abraham. We got Allen. I can go on and on and on with the children need. Okay? And those kids are there. And their eyes are opening. They don't even believe. This is a country that went to war yesterday. The former UP that VP Bwaka was the vice president of was supposed to be the Reconstruction era. That's why the world around gave us so much money in the billions and gave us an opportunity to start over. We squander it. Everyone who were making 20 and 15 and 18 and 20, can you imagine? In 2003, 2005, you are making 10 and 20 and $13,000 a month. To leave and come back to come work again in the same government. You don't create nothing. You don't change nothing. Taylor were in power. All right? Taylor were in power working and has sanction on the whole freaking country. And Liberia could find food to eat. Money could circulate. But you have the world giving you goodwill. Plane flying in. People giving food to people in line. Paying people to build their own way. And you're looked at the country, you're in built. You're put on one structure, you'll take down one. You're put on one structure, for instance. The city mayor position, the mayoral position, have always been an elected position. Broke it down because somebody wanted their friend to get there and they thought the friend would not get a pass. Now we're running a friendship government. Can you imagine? Go Rwanda. One man, Paul Kagame. It takes the leader to take the nation to a direction. Where is the direction? Where is Papa Bwaka carrying us? Me, I want to know. If you give me a roadmap, maybe I will sit back and see. You show up and say 1%. That little 1% got jobs. It says, Letty, no 1% are doing well. Most of them are professional people and experts in their field. They're not desperate. That 1%. That 1% you're talking about have worked in private places and deliver and consistent. When y'all talk to, especially those of us from the United States that came to Liberia, back and forth, we came back to our jobs. We came back to our lives. I'm sitting in my living room, not to brag, but then I earn it. Why not? All right? Some of us that were in the ring, in Liberia, in bushes, to tell you, what gets me is when you come back and say the people are corrupt, you say you're corrupt. So this mirror have two faces. The voters are corrupt and short-sighted. The people that are voting are also corrupt and short-sighted. They don't now look in the bigger picture of the nation. I listened to Julia Jar, is that Julia Jar today? Where parents are calling in, begging. Cisco, I agree. I prefer to be that 1% with dignity. I don't like to be part of a crowd, especially a crowd with no moral. All your big people then, where you're sending to school with our money. I call them government brats just to come back. Y'all won't tell me 12 years, 6 years, 18 years, almost 20 years. Nothing has changed. Facebook live show up in 2015. Revolutionized in 2015. Since the corona, we have invented a lot of new applications. On my particular job, okay, we have changed more than 5 apps, different applications, because we have to strengthen every time. Y'all won't tell me Liberia is still in the 70s? That we're going back? How in hell that these people are supposed to be the cream de la cream of the nation, for the moment they leave? How you make millions of dollars and you leave? You cannot go into the private sector and build an organization that would build a Liberian, but you must run back. Then you bring your children, you run back. Then they bring their siblings, then they run back. Then What is that? And you anticipate for Liberia to change? Really? Really? I'm gonna place this Julia Jar stuff that I saw today. Hopefully I can find it. In parents, it was so sad that parents were calling, begging. All right. I don't feel sorry for them. And then I also feel sorry for them because these parents knew they had children. When I make decisions, okay, when I make decisions, I make decision for my children. I make decision for the betterment of my kids. I make decision to make sure my babies will benefit tomorrow. Is this Julia Child right here? Where's the Julia Child show? Julia Child or Clarence Child? Let me see. Hold on.
Why is it I'm not getting this result? And because of you, you and I saw one of the biggest cases. When do you think at 7:30 we have to fight corruption to listen? What is having money for television, money for your system? What you do? That will take to a digital one.
So then my question though to all of you, if you are giving somebody $3,000 a month, one person, the rest of the nation is hungry. Why would those very people work to make the system better? Why would they work to make sure there's electricity for everyone when they are benefiting? When they are benefiting, why would they do that? Does that make sense? Why would somebody want to give up being a lawmaker when you're paying them $15,000, giving them $60,000 car every 2 years, giving them for their own living space, paying over $1,000 for their own housing in Liberia, in their own home? Okay, we don't pay for our lawmaker homes. I know that for a fact because I have friends that are lawmakers in America. And I can show you right now. If I want to, I will be running. But I'm not ready. And I keep telling them that 6 years in a row, they've asked me. All right. And I know what it entails. Where we pay you, that's where we pay you. When you go in government, you go to serve. All right. I'm gonna play this Clarence Jar show today and see if it's just a sad all around sad story. But I'm here for 1 hour. My 1 hour is done. Okay. When my 1 hour is done, I'm done.
You and I, Julius, you want to see difference in this country. I want to see a difference. She wants to see something different in this country. Everyone wants to see something different. But we cannot see these different things by doing the wrong things. We have to follow the rightful processes. And that's it.
I'm not sure who is
Use
this, but I'm going
attendance
to go
record.
ahead
Some of the HR
and get the calls in.
governments
Okay, that people going to be calling in.
Money home. Okay, it's wrong. We have to fight corruption holistically. Because civil servant salary are yet to be augmented, but people are taking huge benefit. Generator benefiting more than people putting in their efforts. Did you know that a driver LTA makes $750? Driver. So our LTA.
And then other drivers are not earning that.
No, which is wrong. So the system. We have to right the wrong, but we cannot do it if we cannot speak the hard truth.
Exactly. Eric Baye, let's go to the lines.
Y'all listen, folks. That if I want here, then I will go.
Yep. We're just looking at some of the things, his time out of government and all that. 777-995-555-995-995. The numbers to call, and you will be through to the OK conversation. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Tio.
I'd like to appreciate my brother in studio telling that any young gentleman going to talk is very objective, and that is fine. I'm hoping that they're going to be a time that understand that when you vote for FRC party after the elections, you take your people that way to all the and against Liberians that are facing of these ills in society. People will vote for us. Let's stand for Liberia. Thank you so much.
Thanks so kindly as well. Let's see who's on this end. Welcome. Let's hear you.
My name is Andrew Wisset.
Please speak louder.
I said, well, my name is Andrew Wisset, and I join you from Bannersville. First of all, I want to say thanks to everybody. Julius, he's one of the young men saying he was appointed by former President Weah. He has been associated himself with young people and in government, outside government. Every weekend we all together. He may not know me directly, but I know him on my face. But the issue there, all the things I just said, it is true. The government need to look at the issue of creating job opportunity for its policy and also creating opportunity for Liberians. And most of the things, you cannot have a huge salary disparity in government, people making 7,000, other people making 15,000. If you are a minister, you receive a minister pay. If you are a director or a commissioner, you receive commissioner pay. But other commissioners cannot be making 15,000 and who pay 1,200 for rental share. And that's a fact. So we want to urge the government to do what they have to do, the right thing in the best interest of the team for a matter of change and let them stay and implement that particular change that people wanted. The reason why they voted. Thank you so much.
Thanks so kindly as well. Welcome. Let's hear you. Yeah. My man, what you guys over? Yeah. Now I get you car. 450 get you that.
Sorry, I'm walking along the road.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm watching the boy, but I'm calling for the doctor.
Okay.
Thanks to the guest, you said a lot of good things. That's why you see, the World Rescue Corps is the one that told them that you'll go and rescue your people. But if the book opposite,
how you know that God told them? Is that what they told you that God told them?
Listen now. I want to let everybody know. The thing is that if you set this country, then you know that something is going on that is not right. You want to do the right thing. God will show you something to tell the people that indeed are going to do this. So now why is for I just said I'm saying that God is the one that told them that they're going to rescue the people. So the fine is a good message, right? But people say that what we say we're coming to do, it will not be right. Because even the right that I put out that is still there for about 1,200, you know, in the country is not true. And you can say this where we go 1,200. No, I think it's important for open party to administer.
But that all supposed to be paying people, right? So the amount of money that they're making, they can't use it to pay, right?
And that's all it be so. But now they say that the party under the party in law or what?
And nothing in law, but thanks so kind. But when I mean that I can change it, thanks. Let's take somebody else. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Julia, good afternoon.
Go ahead.
So, Julia, my name is Focus Rosie. And I'm from Great Julia.
Go ahead. Well, we were on ELBC this morning. You used some kind of word. I was trying to figure it out, but then the key host of the show did not really ask you what kind of word you used there.
What are you interested in
No, I love words. I am someone who is interested in words. You know.
The last time I said Julia's words have been quenched 3
I agree. I'm saying the word that there's a particular word you use. There's only a very strange word when you call ELBC.
I will share that with you after the show. Julia, what is thank you to Eric for? Eric has spoken very clearly. But a few things I want to, which I expected Eric to have enlightened the public. The president tribal should not be perceived that the president is going to beg some money in the continuum out of the play by Shantor. The president tribal basically is around 3 major things. One major one is how to deal with it, attracting foreign direct investment, which basically intended to diversify and create more job opportunity for the citizenry. The second thing I have to deal with, the president will also have to build the image of the government.
I know, but I'll call him after the show to ask. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius. This is Dave calling you from 5
Go ahead, sir.
Julius, I'm a bit astonished this evening. Everybody is saying that it's welcome the fight against corruption. But then why will we be welcoming the fight against corruption and then we want to direct it? Because they are doing it. Everything you will do on this side, Julius, they should have a starting. The President Bouaga will be 6 to 7 more. Starting with the previous government. I don't think we have to have problem with it. Yes, we welcome it. We're supposed to have money.
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop. I'm going to post this later. I don't know the particular spot, but there are a lot of calls that were coming in on here.
He said no.
So I'm going to go and I'm going to stop here where people are calling in about school fees, school open, but most people are not registered. But here's what I'm going to say to you before I leave, because my 1 hour is over, is that I don't know anywhere where you pay somebody to take a job, unless you're even if you're CEO of Coca-Cola or CEO of Amazon, okay, meaning you built that, how you call it, or you're head of, meaning you're responsible for the future of the organization. You got to be projecting, you got to be hiring, you got to be training talent, and you got to be negotiating. All right. Number one, we're running a government. This government has representation in all of the country that we're traveling to. The president should not be traveling all over the world, okay, like a hairless chicken. It is the role of the foreign department, foreign affairs, to do all of the work. The president should be the last person, all right? And then the president is traveling. You're telling us no money in the country. We're going big. And you're taking 60 people, 100 people. I remember the late John Makafuli travel no more than 7 persons at a time, even to the United Nations. And in fact, John Makafuli, first 5 years, okay, before his second term, he was intentional about changing Tanzania. Okay, I believe he traveled out of the country twice, and the rest of the travel was within Africa. All right. So we're taking 60 people, we're taking 100 people, we're taking 45 people. Then we're lying and saying we only took 6 people. I mean, we don't have good intention for the country. How does a poor country with no roads. Pay 60 grand. How does, I came on this platform, not this platform, on Lofa Julius platform, where as I was sitting there, we were having a conversation. It was this young guy, what his name, the legend that used to host the show. When I said there were over 5,000 positions for the president to fill, the dude came at me and were carrying on. I've told him I've done my research. Okay, if you get the cabinet, you get the majors. Okay, the mayor in different cities. Let's just say the municipals. Okay, and when you get all of those involved, over 5,000 in a small country with 5 million people. In the United States, with over 330 million people, government with over 6 trillion budget, the president appoints less than 4,500. 50 states. That's the power of the president. And when the president travels, it's not a secret because he's using our money, the taxpayer. The press goes with him. Everywhere that he goes, the press goes with him. The American people, we have to be updated. Now, I hear Liberian people say to us, it's too early to talk. Why are you talking? Why don't you just shut up? If we shut up, then we have a dictatorship. Then we don't have democracy. In democracy, especially Liberia kind of democracy, it says we, the people of the Republic of Liberia, we, the people are supreme. If only the people knew their power. The people have the final saying. Papa Bwaka could not afford to go to the hospital yesterday. He had to go back. You know why? Because the people had taken the power away from him. The very people giving this power. Yesterday, Luia was the law and gospel. Today, he's not. Because the people decided that they won't want to deal with him anymore. So they took that power away from him. Based on our constitution, the people are absolute. We, the people, have the power. So to the Liberian people, if you knew the power you had, you would not just relinquish it. You would not just give it to rogues and liars and bad voters, and that's what I wanted to start with. And I'm coming back right here. Our $10,000 that Nyombi Kanga took and gave it to her pa. The father that's supposed to be a pastor who is taking stolen money from the poor people to use it. That is a shame. Shame on you. Me, I'm ready for anything, any eventuality. All right. The people who think nobody in that country, based on our budget, based on the current reality, okay, 300,000 Liberian children are on drugs due to depression and other things. It is a shame that you people have no conscience. Nobody in that country needs to be making $5,000. The president of the United States makes less than $500,000. The president of Liberia makes more than $2 million. But you beg. How in hell do I go buy a Bentley, then leave, go to my sister Letty's house to go backward for food, knowing that I have a Bentley and I have a jet plane and wearing a Louis Vuitton, then go beggar so my children can eat. That's shame on you. That's all I can put it. Shame on you and your Liberian people who's sitting there and biking. The people have no conscience. And it comes down to what? The wicked people in Liberia are united in the wickedness. And the so-called of us that's supposed to be standing up and know better, we are scattered. But I can tell you, there's still more people better people in Liberia, good people in Liberia, that there are bad people. The bad people are just united in a wickedness to keep our country where it is. I don't see Liberian growing. If you spend over 90% of your budget on paying people, paying for generator, paying for car, paying for their food, paying for their travel, that nation is doomed. Let me knock my chest. I'm a proud 1%, and I make no apologies. Say it any way you want to say it. It's not funny, but I'm proud because I mean, in the nation, only 1% of all are brave enough to challenge the status quo. Only 1% of us know that we can navigate our way anywhere around the world and be successful. I compete. I work among Americans. I get up every day, get ready, and go to work and do my thing and come home. Consistently, everywhere that I've worked, from finance, from SunTrust Financial Services, to Hayes Microcomputer Product, to Advanced Cable Technology, okay, as a tech person, into finance, and now as an educator, I show up every time and answer my calls and make no apologies for it, okay? None of your big men there, when they come, they're running back to Liberia. What new do we bring to the table? What new? If you guys were there and got $16 billion, and the employment status never changed, it never dropped. Oh, Sis Letty, I hear that one there. When I get up, I will call you. Y'all let me go and I say longer than I'm supposed to stay. So it's Thursday night. I told you Thursday night we're going to start doing show about how we can come together to try to see business venture and stuff. But today, stuff just hit me. Just hit me. And I'm trying to ask the people, how do you justify watching Liberians die daily? Children begging to take their parents to hospital. Women dying at government hospital. The US government gave us over $90 million for hospital, but we watched our sister died, our wives died, our mother died in childbirth. Oh, but you divine money on the people. Liberian people, let me tell you. Let me say this to you. The revolution is not like an apple that when it's ripe, it drops. Power is not giving, it's taking. When you give power to people and they suppress you, y'all need to stand up to these people. We the people have the power. When the Liberian people decide to stand up, those people will change, or y'all can kick them out. You are a summer peaceful. There's nothing. There are more people in our country suffering than those that are in power. That's it. So I'm going to say to all of y'all, yeah, Jefferson Koji carried them. Yeah, and what they were doing. And that's why, let me say to you, that's why American MSA not giving you a visa. According to the US MSA, 50% of the people who get visa to come to the States, they don't go back. You stay in your country, especially your leaders then. 50% do not go back. People move because of opportunity. And the country is not creating opportunity. Under the first UP-led government with 80% unemployment. They spend over 85% of the country budget on payroll. They created this pay skills. They created this pay skills. Okay, now they're going back to the CDC. No. UP from 2005 was supposed to be the reconstruction government. Like the Paul Kagame kind of government. They hung in South Korea. The Deng Xiaoping in China. 1976, China had nothing. They rolled up their sleeves. The money they borrowed, in fact, it was doing right after World War II. All right? They put their people to work. They created and invested in education, in their human capital, especially in specialization. That's what they did. They have people because the more people specialize, the quality of goods they produce, okay, they become the best within their team. That's what they did. I hear people say, your mind send you to school. I'm in Georgia. Your check, your budget. The biggest of our budget in Georgia is spent on education. We are a $40 billion economy with 10 million people. $40 billion economy with 10 million people. And we don't pay our people like that. We don't pay our lawmaker. Georgia lawmaker do not get paid more than $30,000. Maybe it gone up at least 4 years ago. They don't. Our commissions or commissioner who are will be ahead of many things. Like you have the election commission. The Secretary of State is the commission. That Secretary of State is over elections, is over businesses, is over tax renewal, and regulations, and all of those. They have huge. And another thing is, why do we not have pay grade and those pay grade posted? How much is that so people can apply? Why is it not there? Why we have to be chasing people? Why this is like a big secret that people finding out later and later? And this is a democracy. The people get you a job. Then you make decisions and hide it from them. But you know, many people say, man, yes, didn't man, yes, okay? As far as I'm concerned, since I came to this country, Bush were about to leave. Clinton left. Bush came. Bush left. Second Bush. Obama came. Trump came. And we got Kamala on the way. I have seen what? Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. I have seen 6 presidents. All have left their own personal mark. Obama, what his name? Bush was the war president. Clinton was the recovery president and left with surplus and during the factory years. Okay, factory years. The other Bush was also a war president. That's the one who stopped the war in Liberia. Obama was a recovery president. Trump, he was the divine money president and causing a lot of chaos. Biden, he was the recovery president. But under these people, business incubator grew overnight. Jobs were created. The tech industry, boom. The change came into the Zuckerberg of the world came to being. The Bill Gates of the world, the Michael Dell, this Jeff Bezos, all of this happened. Tesla, what your name? Musk, all of these people. Innovation, going to the moon, brought all of those to pass. While we beg, a bunch of airhead, we beg the slave just to party, to sleep around with little girls and little boys, to go show off with fake Louis Vuitton or buy from Italian people and show their name. Like people with very low self-esteem. How do we build our nation to gain respect? By moving all over the place. I have said enough for one night. I got some work to do. I got class tomorrow. I will talk to you. You'll have a good night. Okay. I'm gonna end with Quincy B. And that's what I will finish with.
Day and break, everybody on the hustle. Some people know like peace, they want some trouble. Crime rates on the increase, the government can protect the people. Oh Lord, no justice for the poor. Yeah, look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living. What's the hope for the future?